Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be talking about how we want to use the shoulders within the golf swing. I'm going to explain how a lot of people I see on a day-to-day basis use their shoulders wrong and what that causes. For instance, someone who slices the ball or an out to in path. I'm going to discuss how we want to use the shoulders correctly and how we're going to get you hitting more draws out on the golf course and getting away from that slice. So be sure to stick around, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos to come by pressing that notification bell. Thanks, and let's get right into it. All right, so how do the shoulders work in the golf swing, and what are the things I see on a daily basis of how people are actually doing this incorrectly? Well, first I'll show you how they're doing it incorrectly. So the first thing I see when someone gets into a lesson, and a lot of times these people are coming in with very similar issues. They slice the ball starts left, curves right, might be going real low and left even. Very common themes across this, and a lot of it has to do with how they're using their shoulders and their lower body, but today we're going to be mainly talking about the shoulders. So the first thing I see is they get up to the top. They may have a great rotation on the way back, a great shoulder turn. Everything's really good up to this point. And then what happens is their shoulders, they will internally rotate them too much. And by internal, I mean they're going to take their shoulder and move it this way. They will do that before they do anything with their lower body, right? So it'll look like this. They're going to get up to the top. Great rotation with the hips, great shoulder turn as well. And then we're just going to see their lower body is just going to stay stagnant. And all they're going to do with their right shoulder or their trail shoulder, if they're right-handed, is going to throw it out this way. This is going to cause the shoulder to get out very far. And then from there, then they're going to start to fire their hips and they're going to spin way left. TrackMan numbers, we talk about club path being negative and positive. A negative club path is going to be an out to in move or an over the top move from what you've probably heard. A positive number is going to be a in to out, right? Or a draw pattern, basically. So more of an in to out. So as far as TrackMan numbers go, when we see somebody with a ton of internal rotation of the shoulder, their lower body isn't really engaged, they're just firing with their upper body, we see an out to in path occur, or with TrackMan numbers, that would be a negative number. Let's just say, for example, a -2 or a -3. When someone gets into the pattern we want, where they actually get external rotation of the shoulder, and I'll show you that here in a second, we're gonna get a TrackMan number of a +2 or a 3, we'll call it, right? That's an in to out path. That's more of your draw pattern you see. So somebody that has more of an external rotation, what we're going to see there is they're going to get up to the top of the swing and they are going to engage their lower body earlier in the swing. So they're going to maybe shift. And then what they're going to do with their shoulder, they're going to have their shoulder work almost down and back, we'll call it. So the right shoulder is going to work like down and back. This is going to help with shallowing the club. So the right shoulder is going to work down and back, and then they're going to start turning through there, start engaging the lower body, and swing more out to the right. And we're going to get a path further out to the right, or that positive path we're looking for. So one, I'm going to dive into why do people do this? Why do they have such internal rotation of the shoulder? And two, how we can correct that and work on that move. Hey guys, I just wanted to hop in real quick and say, hey, if you haven't already, click the link in my bio for my website. On my website, you're going to find a link to sign up for my newsletter. My newsletter is the best way to, one, get weekly tips. I send out weekly emails to help your golf game. And it's also going to give you updates on when new things are coming, potentially new YouTube videos, and most importantly, some masterclasses I'm going to be launching. These masterclasses are going to help you hit the ball further, straighter, putt better, chip better, anything you can think of. So be sure to click the link in my bio, go to my website, and sign up for my newsletter. And I look forward to seeing you all there, and I can't wait to help you improve your golf game. Let's talk about why people internally rotate their shoulders and the common patterns I see come in with that. So the reason why a lot of people do this is at some point or the other, I believe they were told to rotate, or when I've asked people, they've said that they were told, hey, just rotate from the top of the swing. And while that's not inherently bad, when we get things out of sequence and certain things rotate faster and other things maybe shift and all that, things get a little out of whack. So what I've commonly heard when I ask people, hey, why do you move your shoulders like that? Essentially, what they say is, they get up to the top and they've worked really hard at getting their hips to rotate, their shoulders to have a great turn, and then they were told potentially by a friend, or maybe it was just their misconception of this idea. They get up to the top and they've just been told, oh, you just got to rotate from the top. So then what they do with their shoulders, they throw their shoulder out, they internally rotate it this way, and then at this point, the club is so far out here that if you do not start pulling the handle this way or to the left, if you're right-handed, pulling it inside this way, you'll essentially shank it, or you'll miss the golf ball. So what they then do, they get up here, they're told, hey, I'm going to rotate it out here. Then they see, oh crap, I'm going to shank it. As they start down, they're then going to, something else that this can lead into, which we'll need for another video, is they start to early extend, they pull up, they pull the handle in, and boom, maybe they've gotten really, really good at hitting it on the center doing this because they've done it for a long time, right? So I believe why people have done this has just been either a misconception or a miscommunication, or just not understanding how the shoulders need to work within the golf swing. So how we want them to work is we want the player to still make that great turn up to the top, a lot of rotation here, great shoulder rotation. And then from there, I almost want you to feel like if there was a wall behind me, right, that my club was touching the wall, I almost want them to feel like they drag the club head down the wall, which is going to allow our shoulder to work down, we'll call it. And then once they get back about to arm parallel, then we're going to have them feel like they start turning their lower body and rotating and hitting the ball. This is going to get the club much more inside, we'll call it, more to the inside. And then from here, they have a lot more room to swing to the outside, which creates that in to out path, or on TrackMan, a positive 2, 3, 4, whatever, and allows them to potentially hit a draw. So that's what we really would like to see. Now, what are some ideas we can get people to feel that rather than throwing the shoulder out? So something I think is a decent visual is, as you get up to the top, you may have heard someone say, feel like you're holding a tray up at the top of the swing, right? And you may get there, right? But you could be someone that still does this. What I'd want you to feel is, as you work down, you need to feel like you let that tray and you work the tray down, right? Work the tray down this way, as opposed to if the shoulder works too far internally or this way, you're going to throw the tray on top of the people at the table. So you're going to get up to the top, and you're going to feel like you work the tray down so you can set it down nice and easy. You don't want to feel like you throw the tray out this way. So I think that's a really easy visual. And then once we get a club in our hand, we can feel like we get up to the top, we feel like we have that tray in our right hand, we allow it to work down, and then we swing out to the right. One thing you may need to go do is get potentially a screening. TPI is one I'm familiar with. And in there, they'll actually judge how much you can internally or externally rotate your shoulder. So for me personally, I don't have a ton of external rotation in my shoulder here. So when you see me get up to the top of the swing, a lot of times my elbow will be very high in the swing. This could be you as well. It's not inherently bad, because from there, we can just feel like we have the tray and we're going to set it down, which will allow the shaft to shallow. Another subject we can talk about later. So just because you get up to the top, and just because you may not have a ton of external rotation this way, it doesn't mean that having the shoulder up and having the elbow, a flying elbow or a chicken wing, right, at the top is inherently bad. It can actually help with speed production, and I can talk about that as well. So don't worry if you get up to the top and your elbow's flying like this, because we can easily reroute it or feel like we have that tray and bring the tray down. All right, guys, one of the easiest ways I think you can work on your shoulder rotation is just by getting a stick or getting a golf club. I'm going to use a stick just because I like using a stick a little bit better. But if you want to use your golf club, you just place it across your shoulders like this and then kind of hold across. So I'm going to use a stick. It's a little easier. I highly, highly recommend getting a mirror to do this, or put yourself on video and really watch yourself. So again, you're just going to take this stick, you're going to put it across your shoulders, you're going to cross your arms here, and all you're going to do is you're just going to feel like you turn up to the top, and from here you can even turn your head if you need to see where that stick is. You need to feel like that stick traces down and almost like away from you, back this way, and then swing through. You don't want to feel like you get up to the top and you see that stick kind of flying out this way or flying towards the golf ball. You actually want to feel like the stick moves away from the golf ball and back. Back and down is the idea we want to have, right? And again, remember, if I had, this tray here, I'd want to feel like I'm working and I'm going to set the tray down as opposed to let the tray fly at the people at the table. So again, take a stick, take a golf club, place it across your chest. You're going to work up to the top, and then from here you're going to work on that stick working down. If there's a wall behind me, I'm dragging the stick down the wall. So down, I'm not bringing the stick away from the wall. So I'm bringing the stick down the wall, and then from there, once that's here, once I'm at about probably arm parallel, I'm then going to rotate and turn through the golf ball. So I hope this clears up some idea of what you want the shoulders to be doing and how to effectively, cancel that out or fix that with this stick drill. Great, now you've worked on the stick drill. You have an understanding of how you want the shoulders to work in the golf swing. So what changes might you see? Well, one of the changes you might see is immediately the ball may be starting further right. That's great. That's really good. We don't want it starting too far left. Starting out to the right is going to show us that your TrackMan numbers or your club path is in to out or a positive number. That's awesome. We want that because odds are you are someone who swung to the left or a negative path. So you may see the ball start to the right initially, right? From there, you're going to have to work on face rotation. And we can get to that in another video and work on getting you to hit that draw you want. But the first immediate change you might see the ball just starting a little right of your target, okay? I think one of the best ways to see where your ball is starting is take a stick if you're at a driving range and just pace forward about 3 paces, stick the thing in the ground in line with the golf ball, and then you'll be able to see when you hit it, does it exit left of the ball or right of the golf ball? Just a great way for you to see, hey, where's the ball exiting, right? So now that you've seen that, we see a change in ball flight too. This ball could be starting out. Actually, you're getting a little bit more height on the ball potentially and going from there. Now, I will say it's not all perfect when you get your shoulder working like this because there could be some things we have to work on. And I'm going to end up linking a video up here. And in this video, it's going to talk about doing the step drills and getting your low point shifted forward. One thing with shifting the path really far right, we tend to see is people start hitting behind it because they're not comfortable with getting their low point further forward. I will say when you swing out to in or over the top, it helps shift your low point further, helping you get more ball first contact. However, you're sacrificing distance, and we all know that. So just be cautious of that and definitely check out that video I linked above. Thanks for watching today's video. Be sure again to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you know when the next one's coming. Again, in today's video, we talked about how we want the shoulders to work in the golf swing. Far too often, people get up to the top and their shoulders work very internally, and that causes that out to in path we don't want. So make sure you use the stick drill. Make sure you use a mirror or video yourself to really make these changes stick and last. So I hope you really enjoyed today's video, and I also want to say, stay tuned for a special announcement coming. I am going to be launching masterclasses where I'm going to be diving into the art of short game, mastering the draw, fixing that slice, putting masterclass, and so much more. So if you haven't already, click the link in my bio, which takes you to my website, and sign up for my newsletter. This is going to be the place where you're going to find the most up-to-date information and also be the first to know about that masterclass.